So greetings to all participants. I'm Anupama Thakur. I'm the chair for IEEE AcSIR-CSIO Student Branch Chandigarh. So I wholeheartedly welcome you to the IEEE Virtual Talk Series. And today we all are privileged to have with us Dr. Anand Nayyar. He is a great personality and he has received his PhD in computer science from Deshbhakt University in 2017 in the area of wireless sensor networks. And he's currently working in graduate school at Vietnam. So with this brief intro, I welcome you, sir, for your talk. Yes,
Thank you.
over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Let me first of all share my screen. Is my screen visible, Anupama ma'am?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Madam, mute the participants, please. Thank you so much.
Sir, it is.
Okay. Let's start. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Anand Nayyar, and I'm working as professor, researcher, and scientist in graduate school, Jutan University, Da Nang, Vietnam. So first of all, I'm very thankful to Madam Anupama, who has given me an opportunity to speak on research methodology, because this is one of the hottest areas, and you can say the biggest problem among the MTech and PhD students, that they find the trouble in order to get your research papers published and even how to do their research effectively. So no doubt I'm having limited time today and limited sessions we have. So I will be covering most of the tips and tricks that is actually required to do effective research, as well as how to get the papers published. So before I start my presentation, let me give you some of my brief introduction and what is the agenda for today. So as you can see on these slides right now, here is some of the glimpses of my life, or I can say the top achievements. So on the left hand side, you can see this is my picture of Dev Day Da Nang. I have given the lecture on Internet of Things, LoRaWAN, and sensor communications. And last year, my lecture was awarded as the best lecture award in the world of wireless communications. So this is my photograph holding the award for outstanding researcher. So my university has given me this award for publishing high quality papers. And the history of 25 years, I'm the first foreigner in my university who has been awarded with this medal. Here is my photograph of my conference, which I regularly organize now in Vietnam. It is ICIIT 2020, and this year we organized this conference in Hanoi, Vietnam, and all the papers are, with the grace of God, are indexed in ACM Digital Library, Scoopus, DBLP, as well as ISI Web of Science. And again, next year we are organizing the same conference in Ho Chi Minh City, and you are all welcome to submit your papers. It's a very high quality conference, and maybe after 2 years, I will be making more and more collaborations with the journals to have extended publications in SCA journals. Here is my photograph of my lecture in Google I/O, one of the best events of Google Vietnam, and even my lecture was on machine learning into healthcare as well as sports. So here is one of my invention. This is my owl that I have demonstrated on Google I/O event. This owl is a smart owl, and it has the capability to measure the temperature, moisture. Even it can control the smart lighting, the smart TV, and even smart kitchen equipments. So whatever you can think of, it can do, and it can control automatically and make your home a perfect smart home in the near future. So let me briefly introduce some of my profile for all of you so that you can all collaborate with me. I'm working as professor, researcher, and scientist in graduate school, Jutan University, Da Nang, Vietnam. I'm a PhD in computer science in sensor communication, swarm intelligence, and network simulation with 16 years of teaching and research experience, including consultancy in the area for cloud computing, cybersecurity, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and industry 4.0, especially cyber physical systems. I'm specialized in WSN, managed swarm intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, AI, brain computing. On you can remember, you can think of any other subject of research. I'm regularly publishing my papers in that. So I have published 425 research papers as of now, and out of which 78 research papers are in SCI journals, and more than 50 papers are in Q1 journals. And most of the papers, I can say 95% of the papers are in regular issues of the journals, because I avoid special issues. 50 plus articles in open source for you magazine, and we are also collaborating with the Wipro, Accenture based companies to have collaborative articles on blockchain and smart cities, and how open source can play a crucial role in smart technologies for the space. So more articles will be coming up in the near future. 25 books with 75 plus certifications from IT organizations, 1600 plus citations on Google Scholar with H index of 20 and I index of 52 as if of today. I'm even acting as ACM distinguished speaker, the first one and the only one in Vietnam. And apart from it, I'm also the editor in chief of IGA Global Journal of my own, that is International Journal of Smart Vehicles and Smart Transportation. And next year, I'm taking this journal to Scopus indexing. So it will become the Q3 journal with more than, I can say, 1.8 as a side score. I'm associated with 500 conferences as National and International Review Board member, Program Committee, Advisory Board, International Scientific Committee, Proceeding Chair, and many more. I have delivered more than 200 talks in 8 countries, including 100 faculty development in nine countries, certified drone pilot, and 2 inventions, 3 patents, and 15 copyrights. And considering my level of teaching and research, I have been awarded 26 awards for my excellence contribution in scientific and research activities. So this was my brief introduction, and you are all welcome to collaborate. Now let's start with the research. So let me first of all tell you some of my mottos and life principles. So my first motto is knowledge for a better world. Now, as you will all agree with me that 10 years back, the technology that you were using, it is not the technology that you're using today. Who is using iPhone 4 or iPhone 3 or iPhone 6 today? Almost every people have almost updated it, or maybe they are changed to Android phones or maybe to some other phones. And the technology of today will not be the technology of the future. So we are the people who are into technology, and we are the people who actually command and change the mankind into smart and connected world. So it is very important for all of us to understand that in order to be updated, we have to improve the knowledge. So my first motto is to improve the knowledge, because the knowledge can only makes the better world, and that's how you can able to contribute and solve the problems, so that your name can be a visible name in order to update yourself, in order to keep yourself connected to top researchers in the planet. The second important thing, especially for the MTech and PhD scholars, I always say to me, even myself, even though I'm a PhD today, but I always call myself as a student for computer science. So if you are stuck in some problem and no one is supporting you, first of all, relax yourself, because God wants you to learn many things. So be your first guide, be your first mentor, and don't knock the doors of many people that I'm into this problem, I'm into that problem, unless or until you don't have a high sequence level that, okay, sir, this is the problem, and now this is the end limit of my brain. Now I have to knock the doors of the others. In my PhD, I have not knocked the doors of anybody. What I have done is from my own knowledge and my own resources on YouTube, everything. Because when I did my PhD, I was not having those resources that are available today. Okay, and after some time, I will be giving you some of the resources that will make you stunned today, that if you want to do your PhD can just become a child play for all of you. But if you're going in the right direction with right tools and right methodologies. And the third most important part, which is very important for all of us to understand, if we are core researchers, we computer science people, electronics or IT people are actually commanding the real world. That is how we transform the world from the traditional part to the modern era. So there are lots of challenges and hardships, even not only computer science, even civil, mechanical, every field has lots of hardships and challenges. So in order to become an effective researcher, be ready to challenge yourself with latest hardships and challenges, and keep yourself updated and keep yourself aware and connected. So that are the first motives, that in order to be a researcher, be connected, be aware, and be informed. But I will be telling you the 7 pillars of my life, how you can do that. So after that, if you are looking to have a foreign university PhD and you are interested to work with me, and if you have completed your MTech or MS in India, there is an opportunity for you. And for PhD computer science, I'm having 3 seats right now which are available in the area for cloud computing with machine learning, sensor communication, swarm intelligence, AI, blockchain, and even other topic that you want to do, depends on your proposal, can be considered. So the eligibility is first class masters with 5 Scopus papers, or you must have done 2 SCA papers minimum. That is the minimum eligibility, because you will be also offered as a job for teaching assistant in my university once you join with me as a PhD scholar. So strong skill set in programming, simulator, maybe it is NS3 or MATLAB, and plus you should be having a strong knowledge towards machine learning and deep learning libraries. And secondly, if you are a PhD and you're looking for a postdoc position, I'm having 2 seats available with me. One is on cloud computing, or you can work on 5G or sensor communications. So again, the eligibility is PhD with minimum 10 SCA papers, in which all the authors, you can say maximum 4 authors should be there and you should be acting as first, second, or corresponding author. Very important for you to understand. Strong skills in programming, Python, machine learning, and deep learning, and willing to do research with passion for 24 into 7. So this is one of the advertisement of my university that you can see of postdoc fellow. And if you're interested, you can send me your resume at this email ID. But I will be giving you my email ID as well as my WhatsApp number after the presentation once we finish the session for question and answers. So don't worry. So how to apply? The first thing is I need your biodata, and after that you have to send me your resume, in which we only focus on the publications. I am not concerned with what university or what private university you have done your masters. I'm only connected that what are the publications and what are your real-time implementations that you have done in terms of solving the problems. So don't consider that publishing a review-based SCA will give you a benefit. We only consider those SCAs that are actually known as problem orientation with some solutions that are being given. Okay, so consider that every SCA will not be considered as a high-end SCA in the real time, because in foreign universities, we have our strict standards in order to take the people in or kick out them. We require your teaching and research statement, and otherwise it is only today that I'm giving the session, so I'm skipping the teaching and research statement today. Otherwise I start my lecture with teaching and research statement. So top 10 publications that have you require, and the most important thing is you should have a passion to work and willing to work 24 hours a day. So most of the universities outside India work 24 into 7. My university is from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and even sometimes I even give the lectures at 9 p.m. in the night, and sometimes we go in our lab at 6 a.m. So there is no time we do our research like anything. So the agenda will be to discuss on research methodology. So let us start with this thing, 7 pillars to be an effective researcher. The first important thing is have creative thinking and sky level thinking. So if anybody tells you that before 15 years, that there will be a concept of flying car, maybe there will be the concept of transformation of smartphone, that your smartphone can act as your music player, a camera, and more than things. So many people will laugh. So researchers think of this thing and they try to vision the future. So have a sky level thinking that for you, there should be nothing impossible. So if you can think of it, you can design that thing. That is called transforming the mankind into the more intelligent and smart connected world. That is the future. So second thing is be aware and informed of everything in your field. There was a time, everybody, that if one person say that, okay, sir, I'm a master into networking, I'm a master of databases, I'm a master of cloud computing, but it is not the scenario of today. You must have the complete knowledge of 2 or 3 technologies, because even if today you want to publish a SCA paper, then at least you must be important with the role of AI, which is very important, then your application domain, and second, your optimization technique. So all these 4 or 5 technologies make a fusion, and then you will able to get one SCA paper. So getting SCA paper in the world of today is also not very easy, I can say, but it is highly tricky also, because sometimes we have even seen that simple paper with some improvement is getting accepted in 7 impact factor, but some paper which are even fusing the high end novelty, they are getting less than 2 or maybe less than 4 impact factor. Okay, so you have to be careful enough, because getting the paper published in SCA journal, it is somewhat tricky. So I will be telling you about that. The third important thing is have strong networking and always be in touch with everybody. So always consider that LinkedIn and other research networks, which I'm going to tell you today. So don't consider that academia, research gate, or Facebook or LinkedIn is your only network. I will be telling you 2 more websites through which you can update and enhance your connections and collaborations, and you can get strong SCA papers. Keep an eye on the problems and be the first one to challenge yourself. And most important is, because when we get the email today of collaboration, sometimes the emails are also in a very bad language, that we always delete those emails, that if the person is not able to communicate properly, how he will be able to collaborate in a proper research paper. So have a strong hold on English and communication skills with proper ethics on emails. Otherwise, nobody is going to collaborate. Now, the second last very important will be keep learning, learning, and learning. When I was doing my MCA, I just learned 3 languages: C, C++, and Java. But today I can code in almost every language, whether it is Ruby, whether it is Python, whether it is Google Lang, whether I'm using Pig, Hive, Splunk, or even I'm using like you can say the latest language called the R language. So I can code in every language in the today's world. So most important is never retire. So teachers retire, army men retire, government people, they also retire, but researchers and scientists, they never retire. They keep on doing their work like anything. So the most important thing for today will be, it doesn't matter where you start. The only thing is to begin. So let the journey begins today. So the first ebook that you should all read, if you are a good master's or a good PhD scholar, that you are doing your master's and PhD, so it is very important that your thesis is very important for you, because thesis is going to be the mirror for you. Even today, when you're coming for the interview for your PhD, your master thesis is checked. Even if you're coming for a postdoc interview, your PhD thesis is checked. So your PhD thesis and your master thesis should be very good. So this is the first book that I'm going to tell you. Very good book, Thesis Writing for Masters and PhD Program. It is a Springer level book, very good book. You can see conduct of research, structuring the material, editing the thesis, very good book. The second book, it is also very good for you, How to Write a Better Thesis. Very good book that you should read, and it is containing the top 10 chapters at how actually you should write a thesis. And I will be telling you some of the websites today through which you can download the thesis. And nobody is going to tell you, please write a tip that please cite some of the thesis also into your research papers, even to your thesis also, that can give you a strong hold. And please read 1 to 2 theses before writing your own thesis. And the third important thing which I would like to give you, that is how to write and publish a scientific paper. Because in order to publish a scientific paper, you can see preparing the tables, preparing the text, publishing the paper, what are the techniques, and even this book will also tell you how to actually do scientific writing and what are the vocabulary and the terms which I will be also sharing that you should avoid in order to go for the better research papers, and you can avoid the rejections at the desk date. So the next important book that I would like to give all of you, and even this is my personal book also. And when I was doing my PhD, I read this book, and after that, my life changed. And after that, you will be surprised to note, everybody, I can swear to God right now like this. When I started my PhD, when I was going to complete my PhD and I started thesis writing, I have only taken 17 days, ladies and gentlemen, only 17 days to write my thesis. On the 18th day, I submitted my thesis to my guide, and on 21st day, the guide reported me 2 errors. And I removed those errors on the same day. Next day, I took the printout, and on the 23rd day, I submitted my thesis. And when my thesis returned back, it was only given 5 revisions just from 1 internal person and 2 from external person. And I completed those mistakes in 3 days. And after, you can say, 2.5 months, I got my PhD. So the only thing was that how my PhD was better, how my thesis was better. And even my thesis was even awarded the best thesis award by 2 organizations. So this was the book that changed me actually, How to Survive Your PhD. Very important book, and how to start with the conferences, how to review the process, what is the publishing, the time management. This book gives you everything. Just read this book, everybody. Just 35 pages book. And next book, which I would like to give you all of you, that is very important for you, because if you are going for any grant based thing, if you're writing a proposal, because in India, there are some universities that only take your proposals, that how to do and what you want to do, even to your guide also. This is the book that you should read. That is a guide to write thesis and dissertation proposals. Only the proposals, not the thesis. How to give the proposal to the guide and how to give the proposal to the university, that these are the activities that are to be done. Again, a very marvelous book, I can say. And last but not the least, I would like to give you another good book that is also a very important book for you to read, How to Get Research Published in Journals. Okay, so the most important thing that you should always know, that what is the scope of the journal. But today I'm going to give you those tools that will change your life today. So these were the books, and if you want more books, then I can give you this book also. That is 17 Simple Strategies to Survive Your PhD. So how to get that, how to get the results, how to have a social life, how to connect with the guide, everything is there in this book. This is also very good. And one more book I would like to recommend all of you is this one, Getting It Published. So let us start with a lecture with the most important thing that I actually created, and I actually discovered this technique during my PhD. Ladies and gentlemen, what if I tell you that the first work that your guide always tell you that, sir, you want to start a PhD? Okay, what area do you want to do? Start going for the papers. And what we do, we just start crawling the papers, we start reading the papers, and after that, we don't know what we are doing and where we want to go and where we are going actually. So actually, I have designed this technique myself in my PhD that there is a test in order to read a research paper. And you will be surprised to note that even I have done experimentation on 100 scholars, and I even asked them that, sir, read my methodology. And after about 100 scholars, 92 scholars reported that, sir, out of our 100 papers that we were using, 60 papers were useless. So which means that their energy was actually wasted. Now today I'm going to give you this technique or the tactics that how to read a research paper, and after that I will be telling you that 90% of the people, they make the mistakes that they just go to Google and scholar.google.com or ResearchGate and they start crawling the papers. Wrong. Google Scholar, Google, and even your ResearchGate, that is not the perfect area to search the papers. I will be telling you some specific search engines in order to search for the papers. And after that, I will be telling you one website that is having inbuilt artificial intelligence. You just start doing your keywords with it and you start adding the keywords. That website will automatically give you the literature review. So ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to start the research or to start writing the paper or start writing the thesis, it is not the introduction. The first important component that you have to write is literature review. Because literature review will give you what are your objectives and what are your research questions. So with this literature review, you can able to understand what is being done and what needs to be done. So what needs to be done is your research question. And what are the technical gaps that, okay, sir, these papers have these problems. These will be your gaps that need to be covered in objectives. So the problem is, let me tell you in a very simple manner, what is research question? Research question means that those questions that are actually not solved by existing problems. And these are known as technical gaps. And what are your objectives? In order to solve those questions, in order to make your research better as compared to existing ones, that actually becomes objectives. So the first act which you should understand how to read a research paper. Then I will be telling you some tools, techniques, and other, you can say, core websites or the hidden secrets that you should use. So please focus. So this is what you can say how to read a research paper. So the agenda will be that introduction, purpose of reading the paper, and this is my approach, ladies and gentlemen, that I actually discovered during my PhD. And even after that, I use this approach even today, and I give this approach to the research scholars, and they say, sir, we are very happy that now we can able to understand that what to read and what not to read and how to read the paper. So the second thing is resources for improving the reading research paper, then recommendations, and then we come to conclusion. Now see this, everybody. Now you will all agree with me. Researchers spend a great amount of time reading the paper. Naturally, if you are not reading the paper, how can you be able to draft the synopsis? How you will be able to know that what is the problem in existing works, what is the technical gap, and what are the objectives? So you should spend a tremendous amount of time. But selecting the appropriate paper is an art. So let me tell you, even when I was in India, some PhD scholars, even when I was doing my PhD, some scholars came to me that, sir, we are into this problem. And I asked them one question, sir, can you tell me that why do you use this paper? Can you justify this paper? Can you justify this paper? What are you getting from this paper? And they were not able to answer. And I asked them that, sir, you are using this paper, and if you don't know that which terminology and why you are using this paper in your research, then why you are reading this paper? Justify. Okay, so this is the first question. That is the reason, everybody, that your literature view should be very strong. And if your literature view is strong, 60% of the war you have already won it. So this is a skill which is actually which is rarely taught, I can say, leading to much wasted effort. And you will all agree with me that 90% people say after 2 years or 3 years, sir, we don't know what to do. You don't know what to do because you are actually working in the wrong direction. That is the reason you don't know what to do. So the purpose for reading the paper, you want to write a research paper, you want to present a research paper, you want to go for publication, and the most important thing is you have to stay updated with the current trend. Because suppose, let me tell you, if you are not updated with the current trend, you don't know what is happening in blockchain, what the problems are already published in blockchain. Suppose if I say you that, sir, I want to make a security algorithm for cloud computing. Now you give me any encryption. Now I can ask you one question. Why do you don't give me blockchain? Have you discovered what are the latest techniques that are happening in security? So if you don't know that what is happening, how can you make a literature? So for this, everybody, be very careful now. Please be very careful now. Understand. Now, if you have tons of research papers with you, now let me tell you, the first thing that researchers make the mistake and they actually start their PhD from mistake. Who says you to read the complete paper? You are not ready for that. So in order to read the paper first, let me tell you the first important tip. First of all, the area that you are researching, suppose you are researching in the area for blockchain or cloud computing or big data analytics, take the highest cited book. Take a one particular book and read the complete book, first of all, for at least 15 to 20 days. Read it. Second, read 5 more books, but only to that area where do you want to research. Like suppose you are working on cloud computing, but you only want to work on security. So cloud computing book should be read at the first moment. You can take any book like Rajkumar Bhaiya book or Handbook of Cloud Computing or any other thing. But in the second 5 books, only read that area where do you want to work, like security, load balancing, virtualization, or whatever the approach you want to take. So read only those chapters, avoid rest of the chapters. So once you are aware, then you are ready to read the research papers. And that is the first mistake that we make. Now, the second mistake that we make is we start reading the complete paper from A to Z, and that is wrong. You have to read the paper in modules, in chunks. Okay, now let me tell you how to read. So in order to read the paper, we have 3-pass approach. The first pass, the second pass, and the third pass. This is actually designed by me. The first pass. Now you just want to have a general idea what the paper is all about. So the first thing is it should only take 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have 30 papers, so just take 5 minutes each to give the first pass. And if you're okay with that first pass, select those papers that you will go for the second pass. Rest, remove those papers. Those papers are not required. So the first thing is read the title. And that is the reason, everybody, that some people even say that, sir, my paper is in SCA journal, my paper is in transaction, but the paper is not getting citations. I said, you've chosen the wrong abstract. You have not observed the proper title. So make it sure this is the first pass, everybody, and this will lay the foundation that whether the paper will be citable or whether the paper will be in the dark. Make it sure. So the first thing is read the title, read the abstract, and just read the introduction. So these are the first 3 components that you should read, and side by side, just read what is the heading of the section. That, okay, sir, after the introduction, the heading is literature view. Then the heading is proposed methodology. Then the subheading is system model. Then it is working. Then it is experimentation, analysis, then conclusion, then references, the subheadings. Just read those. Don't read anything else except title, abstract, introduction, subheadings, and then read the conclusions. So if you are okay with these type of things and you see that this paper is actually working with my paper, then you can say that you are actually taking this paper along with you. And this is what you can say. Now you know that this paper has given you the title, the abstract, the introduction, and the conclusion, which means now you should document in 4 to 5 lines what is the paper all about, what is proposed, what is the novelty in the paper, and what conclusions are being done. So that's how in 4 lines you have to present a literature review. So that's how I was doing from the day 1, which means my thesis, chapter number 2, was actually started on day 1 when I started using this 3-pass approach. So please write in a paragraph. Okay, so make the 3 boxes in front of the paper that, okay, sir, in first pass, I concluded this. In the second pass, this is the paper. And in the third pass, this is the paper. Okay, sir, this paper is okay. This paper is wrong. So see this, everybody. Now you should understand with the first pass, what type of paper it is, what is the measurement of the paper, whether it is an analysis paper or whether it's a prototype. And you can even say that what other papers are related by the references and whether what is able to be analyzed. So read the conclusion. conclusion, abstract, title, and introduction. If you are okay with this type of thing, then it is called first pass. So don't read other paper in the first pass. So in the second pass, so I will just talk to second pass now. So in the second pass, read carefully the figures, the diagrams, the illustrations, and pay attention towards the results section. What are the analysis he has done? How his approach is better than existing approaches, so that you can understand what comparative analysis you have to do. What are the problems the person is facing? What is the analysis? What are the parameters he has taken? Now with this second pass, now if you're okay, this approach can take about 1 hour. So read this paper to the second pass, and now you should be able to grasp the content, what the paper is speaking to you. So first of all, you are understanding the paper. In the second pass, the paper will speak to you. Now in the third pass, if this paper is okay, now you can go to the third pass. So in the third pass, you should identify the assumptions, what is being proposed, your system methodology, your proposed work, and what is the experimentation. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, again, in the first pass, read the title, read the abstract, introduction, conclusion, and subheadings. Once it is okay, go to second pass. Go for the results as well as the diagrams, the tables, and illustrations. And if the paper is okay, now on the third pass, you should read what is the actual work that is being performed. Now, if the paper is okay, you can proceed ahead. That, sir, out of these 10 papers, now I have shortlisted these 4 papers. So don't think collecting the papers means that you have to read all the papers. All the papers are good papers. So you have to go for an approach that how to read the paper and what to shortlist among the paper. So please read this approach carefully, because this is the approach that how you will be able to implement your paper, how you will be able to innovate, what are the research questions you will ask, because you already know what is concluded, you already know what is being proposed. Now you are able to get ready that, okay, sir, these are the gaps. So in these gaps, we have found that security is still a problem. The security is still this bit. And now we will improve the security by these parameters. We will use this protocol approach. We will use this approach to compare our work. So then how you will be able to understand that how you should shortlist your base literature. And many people ask me one question that, sir, how many literature works or related work should be there? So if you're in a conference and if you are going for Springer or IEEE conference, and if the paper pages are only up to 6 or 7, then avoid literature. Don't do literature. You just come to conclusion and your proposed work. This is the total thing. But if you're into Scoopus paper, please write minimum 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 literature reviews so that you can be able to understand. And if you are writing a SCA paper, minimum 15 to 25 papers should be taken as the base. And after that, please make it sure, write it down. I will be telling you when I was going towards SCA papers after that. So write it down. What are the gaps that you have observed? What are the problems that you have observed? Then you should write your contributions in a separate section after literature. That, okay, sir, these were the gaps. Now these are my contributions. Then you should come towards your proposed work. Now you are ready with the paper. So this pass approach requires a great detail with the third pass, and you should think your particular idea in a proper manner. And this approach, the third pass approach, the first pass can take up to 10 minutes. The second pass approach can take up to 1 hour, and the third pass approach will take up to 5 hours. So that's how in 1 month you can shortlist those papers that are actually required for you, for the guide to be presented, that, sir, these are the papers. Now I'm ready for these things. These are the problems I have observed. So that's how you will make yourself clear and prepare that, sir, I'm ready for the thesis. I'm ready for the practical work now. So that is what I have to say in this first presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the pass that you are waiting for you. Now let us start with the first. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy and see the session, what I'm going to demonstrate all of you. And I assure you that after 20 minutes of this session, you will all feel a deep change in you. That, sir, you will also say in the chat box that, sir, thank you for this session. We were actually working in a wrong direction. Now see this, everybody. Now, the first thing that I would like to inform all of you that there are certain search engines through which you can research your research paper. You can download the papers. Don't go to Google Scholar and Google, because there are two reasons. Google Scholar will not fetch you specific results with the keywords. And second, Google Scholar will not give you reputed journals, even because for Google Scholar, even though the journal is a good journal or a predatory journal, it is a database. Okay, so we have to go for good journals with good scoopers and SCA papers. So only use these websites. So the first website which I would like to inform all of you is known as science.gov. Very good website to search, and let me give you some demonstration. Now see this, everybody. Now suppose I'm researching on sensor networks. So if I just search sensor networks, and I click on search. So you can use any search for that, whether you're working on cloud computing or big data or anything, even your security in cloud computing, whatever it is. Now see this, everybody. Because this is the biggest website, it will fetch you the results in a proper manner. And even I'm using my high bandwidth towards streaming, so it will be somewhat slow. So meanwhile, we open another website also. The second website which I give you is called core.ac.uk. I will be telling you everything. This is the tools and techniques that you should use. Now you can see how many papers are across the world or over listed over here. Now suppose if I'm researching again on blockchain. So I just search blockchain and I click on search. Now see this, everybody, the results have come. And now what is the beauty in this? See this. So the results have come, and you can even see the abstract right now. Okay, which the Google Scholar will not provide you. And even it will give you the DOI number, everything over here. So if suppose it is loading now. Now, if suppose I want to make a research paper only from 2015 to 2020, and please, one more thing, if you're searching for anything, don't use any literature view beyond 5 to 6 years. Okay, because after that, it will put a question to your paper by the reviewer that whether maybe the research is original or not original. So see this, everybody, I just tuned my research to 2015, and you can see the results will automatically come and refresh to me. So this is how we use the tools in order to update ourselves, in order to perform the best research papers. And the highest research paper will be automatically coming in front of you. And you can even stream with you can say clusters and topics. What is the data collection? What is the specific tool that you're looking? You are adding some neural network into that. So it will automatically take your keywords and start searching specifically for your research. So this is called how we actually make our literature. So Google Scholar will not do these things for you. So you can be specific research into this type of area. So this is a very good website to do the search. So now let's go to, you can say the core research. You can see again, I define the research again. So I just refine the research now. And now I just want, and you can see that I can immediately get the PDF. No need to go to the websites again and again. So I just want the English. See this, it will automatically start crawling. And after that, what the journals I want, because I just want that blockchain technology, I just want only from IEEE access. Now see this, all those papers that are published in IEEE access with regard to this much of year and other things that will only come in front of you, and you can just click on get PDF and you can download. So that's how we don't have to crawl the website and Google Scholar. These tools will actually fetch you many things. Now, the next tool, which I would like to give you, again, a very good tool to search the research papers. And after that, I'm going to change your life today. So this is called base-search.net. Again, a very good search engine for doing the research paper search. Now, suppose if we are doing our research on security in ad hoc networks. Now, see this. Now, if I just click search, even you can go for advanced search, even you can go for other tests, and you can see it is only fetching me the papers with regard to security in ad hoc networks. And similarly, I just want to have the publications only in 2018 or 2019, because maybe to 2019, nobody has published the paper, or 2020, nobody has published the paper. So immediately it will give me other things. So you can even check in Google Scholar. It can even give you the citations. It can give you many things. So you can just download the paper and immediately it will make you other things. Even you can go for sorting. You can go for author search, date of publications. You can even go for subjects. You can even go for language, search histories. Many things are available. So this how the rather than Google Scholar, this websites will actually search for you as per your requirements. Now the next website, again, my personal feedback. Mr. Vijay Singh, please don't worry for the feedback. Please learn the lecture. Thank you. Don't disturb. So the next website is called RefSeek. Now suppose if I'm working on virtualization, like, okay, let's take this one. So just if I do security in virtualization, and you can see all the white papers and all the sequences that are actually required, and even for the guides and other ebooks also, it will automatically come in front of you. So this you can say, rather than to use Google Scholar, this will automatically improve your search like anything. And even you can download white papers, the strong links, the websites that are actually having. So use these websites, use these white papers as a research paper, as a research reference. Now, everybody, I'm going to show you the magic. Now, I'm going to show you one website that is actually a subordinate of Springer. And this website has machine learning in order to crawl literature for you. Okay. I will be taking your questions afterwards. Please enjoy the lecture. Now see this, everybody. Now what I'm going to perform in front of you. Yes, Dr. Anita Ghosh, it is applicable to all these subjects. Now suppose, now see this, everybody, listen carefully. Now see what the magic is going to be. Now I'm going to reduce your efforts by 80%. Yes, everybody, 80% your work will be done by this website. And even I can say rest of the 30% work can be, you can do by these websites. Now see this, everybody. Now if I do search on, like here, let it load. Okay, now it is loaded. Now see this, everybody. Now suppose if I'm doing my research into sensor networks. Now I just type sensor networks. Now see this, what will happen. Now see this, I click on map it. Now see over here what will happen. Now you can see that it is giving me about 2,63,622 articles. This is general WSN. Now I would like to improve that, which means I'm researching on some called security, or you can say clustering. Suppose if I'm working on clustering and I want those papers in which clustering based sensor network based approach is used. So if I just click on clustering now see this, what will happen. Only those papers which are having clustering and sensor network, it will be crawled. Now you can see 1140 articles are there. Now I would like to add machine learning, which means now I'm working on machine learning based clustering approach for sensor network. So which means I just add machine learning to this search word. Now see this, what will happen. Now you can see 35 articles are there that is using clustering, machine learning, and sensor networks. So this website is actually giving you those results that are actually used for literature. So do remember this website called Author Mapper. Okay, so this is having machine learning in order to improve your research activities. Now let us come to the predatory journals, because many people say me, sir, whether this journal is okay or not. So I always tell them, go to this website called Beale's List, and you can see all the predatory journals which are not actually informed from the community or other things. You can even evaluate your journals using journal evaluation tool, JCR master list, DOAJ, and Think checklist. Everything is available in front of you. Okay, so do this website and and check these journals before you submit the paper. And the other website which can give you the entire answer, this is called Predatory Journals. You will be getting all these websites tomorrow. So list of the predatory journals, you can see all the list over here, but I'm very sorry to inform you that most of the journals are coming from India itself. And even lots of journals are from Russia, Turkey, and even from USA also. But most of the journals that we are encountering is coming from India. Okay, so be very careful. And one dangerous website which I would like to give you all, please keep a close eye, because most of the papers are getting published, but they're even getting retracted. So this is called Retraction Watch, where you can even see that lots of blacklisted people who are actually doing the fake research are all listed on this website. Now you can see, even yesterday there was a news that lots of the journals are even retracting more than 11,000 papers of China from last 4 years. Which means if a Chinese author has published a paper 4 years back, now his paper is getting retracted because of lots of fake and dummy data that is coming. Okay, so this website will also take some time to load. So meanwhile, we come towards next thing. Okay, this website is open. You can see See this, everybody. Please be very careful when you are publishing the paper, especially on COVID-19. See this. Paper earns expression of interest after author blames COVID-19 researchers for not able to find raw data. Because most of the papers that are coming, they are either on the dummy data. So please be very careful. Your paper can be retracted. So please avoid COVID-19 papers right now. And see this. And you can say unprofessional behavior in peer reviews. What is going on? And see this. Cancer researcher hit with 10-year ban on federal US funding for nearly 100 fake images. See this, everybody. And the person is from Wayne State University in Detroit. And even he's lost his PhD and got a 10-year ban. So all these news are coming on this website. See this. Journal that published paper linking to 5G to COVID-19 blames substantial manipulation of peer review. Yeah, it also happens. And see this. See this. The person, Norman C. Yang, even he is banned yesterday because of the controversies. And even see, study of Chinese ethnic minorities, all these papers are coming under ethical violations. So all these websites, and you can even see cancer surgery group in China may lose second paper, which means that already one paper was retracted. And now this paper from these people are also getting retracted. So please be very careful when you're publishing some medical research, because even though you can cheer today that you get a SCA paper, but maybe other person can even blame that please retract this paper. Okay, everybody. Now, everybody, I would like to give you one important thing, which is very good for you. 90% people will agree with me that if you want to check your paper with English editing, you will use only Grammarly or you use Ginger. Okay. But I would like to tell you one thing, that Grammarly will increase the plagiarism and Ginger only uses one line to check the sentence, which means for Ginger, if one line is having past tense, it will correct as per past tense. If the second line is in present tense, it will not correlate both these lines. So that is the reason, everybody, that these Ginger and Grammarly, they are not renowned tools. But now today, I'm going to tell you one tool that you should purchase. And even not it only, it will improve your scientific writing, but it also improves your rewriting, which means that suppose if you have a sentence that is under plagiarism, this will also improve that language. So I even use this tool from the last 1 year, and I'm getting back-to-back publications without any problem. So this is called prowriting8.com. So this is a tool that you can even use, and you can add it to Chrome for free. And even the price is cheaper than Grammarly. So you can see over here, it is even a grammar checker, style editor, and even a writing mentor. So even it can even rephrase the sentences. So don't go for ref and seek or other things. This tool is better as compared to ref and seek, Grammarly, and Ginger. So use this tool. Now the next website which I would like to inform all of you. And many people say that, sir, we want to publish, we want to get collaboration with the people, how to get citations, how to improve our connectivity with the scholars, how to get informed. So I tell you today, the Mecca, where you can all connect. And this is called the Facebook of research community. And if you don't have the account, please make the account today and start uploading your papers. And even this website is so strong that it can even index all your papers from your Scholar, Publons, or even Web of Science index basis. So please have your account on that. And after that, you can search me. You can follow me also. So, sorry. So this is called sciprofiles.com. So this is known as the profile for academic life, and this is a social network for all of us. So if you don't have your account on this, please make the account on this today. So where you can all interact. It's the biggest website that you can see. Now the next website, which I would like to inform all of you. And before that, I would like to inform all of you that mostly we say that the paper is submitted, but the paper gets rejected. The paper gets rejected because the paper is out of the scope of the journal, or maybe the paper is not having good English. So in order to improve the English, we have ProWriting 8. In order to connect with the scholars with latest papers and conferences, we have SCA profiles. But now I would like to tell you one website that is having natural language processing and artificial intelligence that will actually pick your language or check your language, what is the paper is all about. And after that, it suggests you the journals. So now the website is known as Journal Guide. So before you submit the paper, please type your title here and type your abstract here. So now let us take some example. Now suppose if I take a dummy example like this, a novel routing protocol based on B colony optimization, or you can say, okay, let's take this bee colony optimization for sensor networks. So this is my title. Now you can see this manuscript abstract. I just take a fake abstract. Wireless sensor networks are improving at regular intervals, and swarm intelligence techniques like BCO is playing a strong role for improving efficiency in sensors. Like suppose I just take this type of sentence. Now you can see search. Now with the power of natural language processing and AI, this language will be checked, and after that it will be checked with the scope of the database of journals. Every journal in the planet, I'm saying again, every journal in the planet, no matter what subject you are, pharmacy, mathematics, biology, even literature, history, everything will be checked on this. So I click on search. Now with the power of machine learning and natural language processing, this website will give me that what journals are suitable for my research paper. Now see the magic. Yeah, so the result has come. So you can see the journals are already recommended: wireless networks, journal of networks, and even you can see their impact factor is also listed. So IIT sensor networks, my God, I got lots of journals. You can see IEEE Access, Journal of Computers and Communication. So it is scrolling all the journals from whether the publisher, and you can even see lots of journals are there which we even don't know the name. Okay, everybody. So this is the website that you should all use in order to go for the journal finding. Okay, and even you can go for other things. Okay, everybody. Now the next tool that I would like to suggest, and even I would not like to open the website because it is like the same. So same journal suggestion is from the Springer, it is from the Elsevier, and it is from Taylor. Okay. Now I would like to open best website for all of you, that is called Guide to Research. Now see the magic, this website will help you. Now see this, everybody. First of all, before I start with this website, I would like to crawl that how we can find the best conferences in any country. Now click on this one, all conferences. Now see this. I just want to have a conference in maybe United States. Let's take United States. I have to search. Okay, it's number one. So I want to go to USA in 2021, but on a conference. Which conference is best for me? Now see this. I want to select a publisher. So suppose I just select the publisher, that is Springer. I only want to go to those conferences which are only in Springer indexings. Now it will search, which means all these conferences are going to happen, but I would like to have the date as per February, which means February, I'm planning to go to a conference in USA, which means there is no conference. So suppose if I change the date to January, okay, no conference, December, maybe we should get some conferences now. So these are the conferences that you can find, and almost every country is listed over here. So you can even go for the publisher based conference. So suppose if I go for IEEE, so it will list me some of the conferences. So you can be in touch with this website to find what conferences are there. So see this, everybody, top 600 journals. Okay, now see this. Now see this, everybody. This is a very good impact to be use this website. So suppose if I'm a person, this is only for computer science. Now suppose if I'm researching on embedded systems, hardware or electronics, or maybe Arduino or cyber physical systems, I just click on robotics. But I want the publisher to be only Springer. I just want the Springer. So you can say in terms of robotics, electronics, these are the journals that we must consider for publication. So before you submit your paper, please go to this website and you can find lots of journals that is happening. And there is one more thing in this website. Click on special issues. Now, if you have any special issue, like even I'm getting my 3 special issues approved by the next month. So if you are interested, please be in touch with me. So if you have any special issue, you can add your special issue. Otherwise, you can find all the special issues that are happening in Elsevier, Springer, IET, ACM, everything listed here. So depending on the special issue, you can submit your papers in this, because most of the websites can even go for that. So even you can be in touch with them with the newsletters or other things. So everything will be coming to your email as soon as possible. So everybody, I would like to inform you with the next website now. This is very important. Now, what if I tell you, everybody, that if suppose you want to publish a paper in IEEE access, but you have a simple paper and you don't want to waste your time for doing the typesetting, doing the, you can say Elsevier-based, chapter-based improvement or other things, use this website called typeset.io. Even I'm doing some books in Springer, Elsevier, and Wiley. I just give this website to the people. That's a please upload your paper in this and select what book you want to have or which journal you want to publish. So this website will automatically transform your paper in that format, and you can download the paper in 5 minutes. So even with the power of natural language processing and deep learning, this website is providing the best answers to your typesetting. So typeset.io is another website. Thesis, I will be telling you one more website through which you can update your thesis and how to publish the thesis. So suppose if I'm publishing a thesis on, if I want to have a thesis on wireless sensor network, so I just say wireless sensor networks because my PhD is into that. So I'm very comfortable in this word. I publish lots of papers every year into sensors, and very soon some more papers are coming. So you can see that what are the dates you can use. So 2016 to 2020. And one more thing, everybody, all the theses that you are seeing right now, they can be downloaded free of cost. Okay, so no need to go to websites or other universities. You can just download from here only. Okay, so this is the perfect website that you can download the thesis. And one more website which I would like to inform all of you is called openthesis.org. So this is another repository where you can download the thesis, and it is again having the big data. But one website which will change your world today will be this one. And after that, I will be telling you the magic for all of you. So let's wait for this one. So no problem, it will be opening. So this one is called ndnu.edu. So you can see all the open access, creative and public domains. So we have the thesis and dissertation. So you can just go to open thesis, open access things, and even you can download the books also, other things. Okay. So suppose if I just search Journal of Supercomputing, see this. Now, if I search Journal of Supercomputing, it will just fetch me this result called publisher, ISSN number, and it can just give me SCI, but will not fetch me the different information. Now, today, let me give you another website that is important for you to understand. So if you really want to go for SCI publication, use this website. That's called LetPub. Just search LetPub and you will find this website called Scientific Journal Selector. Now see this, what I will do. Now see this. I just select Journal of Supercomputing. So I just click, just wait, please. So I just click on search. Now see this, what will happen. So this website will give me, you can see the impact factor, SCI and SCI, and even how much days period it is requiring. And now if I click over here, now you can see how much detail it will give me if you are really into this. So you can see it gives me the quarter, it gives me the percentile, and even it is giving me self-citation ratio, and even it is giving me the site score. So before you submit the paper, everybody, please keep a note that site score is a flexible and it's a robust value. It changes every month depending on the citations and other things. So if the citation score or the site score increases to above 3 or 3.5 or above 4, which means that it is a high value that the impact factor next year will be increasing. So every month, every year, we know July 2021 will be the next year when the impact factor will change, whether it is up or down. So please keep a close eye on this site score. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to inform all of you that as I don't have the time down, so I just immediately start with the publication of a SCI journal. So for the publication of SCI journal, please take a note that the first thing that you have to start publication is with a literature review. Now I've already told you for the SCI, I always recommend minimum 15 to 25 literature reviews. And after that, please write what are the technical gaps that you have observed. Now, second thing, which is very important in the methodology, under the methodology section, please make it sure that you write three main components. Number one component should be the system model, in which you highlight the, you can say the mathematical modeling as well as the theoretical foundation of the technique that is being proposed. The second thing should be the working. In that working, you should always write what are the steps of working, what is the algorithm, and what is the flow chart. And C component, if you're into computer science or you're into the management, you can go for some approach, that what are the approaches or what are the critical things that you observed in this technique and what are the contributions specifically. Next, which is very important for you to understand, is called the results section. So once you go to the results, so the first that if you're working on a data set, so you can write the data set used. And if you're working on data set, please make it sure that the data set should be given a complete description. What is the source? What are the components of a data set? Second thing, you should write what is the experimentation, that what are the experimental areas, like, okay, we have done experimentation on error reduction, precision, accuracy. And please, one important thing, everybody, please mention the table. Okay, please mention the table of the values, and after that, please add the graphs. Because if you don't mention the table, you only mention the graphs, because today I'm the reviewer of maximum, I can say 48 to 50 SCA journals. Regularly, they send me the papers for review. I immediately send the paper back to the authors. That's a please add the data, then send me for the re-review. I cannot check the paper without that. So go for experimentation and go for the parameters and then go for analysis. So in that analysis, compare your work as compared to standard approaches, compare with existing works. Rather than if you're working on sensor networks or cloud computing approach, rather than you compare with standard approaches, because naturally your work will be better than that, compare with existing approaches. The next important part will be the conclusion part. So conclusion should be only focusing what is being done, what is being analyzed, and what is being proposed, and what are the overall analysis that you have observed. And after that, future scope. In the future scope, always please mention that what exactly you want to improve in parameters. Like suppose if I design a protocol today, I've improved its routing, I improved its packet delivery ratio, but I want to improve its security, its throughput in the future. So please add these vital parameters. Now in the abstract, most important, everybody, please listen to me very carefully now, because if your abstract is wrong, and please write the abstract at the end of the paper. So don't write abstract in between. Please write abstract at the end, because this is the careful thing. First of all, start what is the baseline, that okay sir, we are working on cloud computing, so write 2 lines on cloud computing. Then you should write what is the area that you are working. Then you should write what is the objective of your paper. Then write what is being proposed and what is the novelty of your approach. And then write down. 90% people, they make the mistake, and we always say redraft the abstract. Experimentation are done and it is found that the technique is better. No, wrong. What is the experimentation? So please find out that, please do that the technique has been experimented on these parameters, and it is observed that the technique is about 46% better in this approach as compared to this, 46% better as compared to this, 50% better as compared to this, and overall the technique is 80% better than this. So which means that we have a comprehensive abstract in order to cover that. So that's all I would like to cover in this lecture. I hope all of you have enjoyed, but due to less time, I didn't cover much about writing the SCA paper, because these are the only techniques that I can cover. So the most important thing before you should start writing the SCA paper, please have a keynote with the literature. Please, you should understand what is the contribution, what are the objectives, okay, and after that, what is the methodology to be used, and and how you will test the novelty of your paper. And once it is all clear, then you should start writing. So don't start writing the paper first. Please take a pen and paper and start writing the approaches and start drafting what is being done, and then you can type. Because even when I write the research papers, I don't use the computers. I just read the papers, I do the experimentation, and then I type my letters in, and then I type my paper in my own words on the A4 size sheets, and then I type the paper. So that's how we make the paper. And please, most important, many people ask me this question, that sir, what is the tenses that we should use? Always remember, introduction should be in the past tense, but the contributions and the objectives should be in the present tense. Literature view should be always in the past tense, because the work is already done. Your contribution and your work should be in the present tense, and your results should again be in present tense. Conclusion should be in the present tense. Future scope should be in the future tense. And abstract, if you are writing the above line, above objective of the paper, it should be in the past tense. Objective should be in the present tense, and analysis should be in the present tense. So make it sure that this type of scientific writing should be there. And please use active and passive in both terms, depending on the scientific writing, whatever the paper you are writing, and then proofread the paper with pro writing aid, and then start writing the paper, and then try to submit before doing the plagiarism scan. And please, one important thing, if you are writing the paper and submitting the paper, make it sure that to be on the safe side, plagiarism should be less than 10%. So with this, I stop the session, and I hope all of you have enjoyed a lot. Now the house is open for next 10 minutes for the question session. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for a phenomenal session.
Yeah, I got one question from Ankita Taneja that, sir, do you have any websites for the subject? So I give you two more websites called conferencealerts.com and allconferences.com. Yeah, can you repeat the tenses used? Okay, I repeat it again. In the introduction session, it should be the past tense. Your contributions as well as your research question should be in the present tense. Literature view should be in the past tense. Then your future scope should be in the future tense. Conclusion should be in the present tense. Your proposed work should be in the present tense. But in abstract, before objective, it should be the past tense, and rest of the things should be in the present tense. So your proposed work should be in the present tense. Whatever you are using on referring to the people, it is already done, so it should be in the past tense.
So thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and the information with all of us. It will be really helpful for all the participants and for also all the viewers who will see this recording later on our YouTube channel.
Thank you so much, madam, for inviting me, and hope everybody has enjoyed. And one more thing I would like to inform all of you that to update yourself to the technology, to keep your resources updated. So don't think that whether we use websites. The main thing is that our resources should be comprehensive so that we should not have any break in order to learn and in order to do the progress. Okay, so resources can be anywhere. It could be a blog, it could be a website, it could be a thesis. But the main thing is that we are using it as a baseline in order to solve something, and our work is not stopped. So I think that every resource is a global resource. That is what my answer is.
Yes, sir. That's great, sir. That's great.
Yeah, because I have open thinking, madam, because as scientists, we have very open thinking.
Yes, yes, sir. Definitely. So, sir, we hope that we haven't disturbed you during your session. And it
was a perfect session executed, and it was nicely executed by you. And if you execute these sessions nicely like this, then you can see that I'm not wasting my time in telling the participants that please mute yourself. So I give more information to them.
Yes, sir. And the response that we have got from the participants, you can already view it in the chat box window. So many appreciation comments are there and compliments are there for you. So, sir, we wish you good luck in future. And thank you so much, sir, for your time and for your sharing your knowledge. So thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much.